All right, so today I want to talk about, all right, headphones off. Today I want to talk about the Level 1 core training program, 205 Strength Level 1 training program. Now, this is my kind of essential beginner's program. It's for people with a good foundation of physical fitness looking to branch out into barbell training. And in particular, barbell training with the goal of increasing strength by lifting heavy weights and testing maximums, right? So this is your intro into that type of training. So being a beginner program, I like to keep it as simple as possible and as flexible as possible. And for that reason, the Level 1 program contains 2 workouts, and it is a self-scheduled program. So what that means is that rather than having this workout scheduled for Monday, this workout scheduled for Wednesday, you're going to schedule workouts yourself as you come into the gym. Now, it's always good to establish a routine, say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, whatever it is for you. But in the beginning, you have to understand that these habits aren't set in stone yet. You might get extra sore, things come up. And one of the easiest ways to knock a beginner off of their kind of initial wave of progress and motivation is to expect too much perfection out of them. If you expect Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week, I'm going to do this is my plan, and then you miss Monday, sometimes if you have too much of an expectation of perfect consistency, it'll bother you too much, and you'll end up kind of throwing the whole rest of the week away sometimes. I know I've been guilty of that before. So what this program does is it lets you come in the gym. It allows you to miss those sessions, basically. It doesn't want you to, but it allows you to, without having to alter the program. It's not like you missed a workout, now you have to make up. You just still go on the same pace. So the way we do that is you just alternate workout A and workout B. Every day that you come into the gym, you come in Monday, you do workout A, Wednesday, workout B, Friday, workout A, and then the next Monday, workout B. Or if you wanted to come 5 days a week, you would go A, B, A, B, A, and the next week, B, A, B, A. Although I don't recommend doing this program 5 days a week. If you really are a beginner, it might be a little bit too much. The workouts look light, but if you progress them effectively, they will not be light for long. All right, so let's get a little bit into what each of the specific workouts looks like, and then I want to go over kind of bigger picture how to progress the program and how to deal with the different problems that may come up. So workout A is our first workout. Each of these contain 3 exercises, each of them for 3 sets. For the most part, 3 sets of 5 reps. Now, what we want out of these is 3 sets at the same weight. So if it's 100 pounds, 100, 100, 100, we don't want to do like 100, 110, then back to 95 because that was hard. I want to keep it flat so that next week you do 100, 100, 100. Next week you're going to do 105, 105, 105, and just keep it consistent like that. So the way this program works is you do your 3 sets of 5, starting at a very comfortable weight, and then every time you come back to repeat workout A, you're going to add a little bit of weight to your 3 sets of 5 on each exercise. Now, obviously, each exercise you don't have to do the same weight. Take it at a easy, comfortable starting weight for each exercise that you can do with good technique, perfect confidence. And then each week, kind of depending on your size, your baseline strength, and your experience level, and kind of how light you start, you're going to want to add between like 2.5 and 10 pounds per session. To be safe, I just like to stick with 5 up front. But sometimes, like for smaller girls doing overhead press, you might want to get some smaller change plates, add a couple pounds at a time. And then for big guys doing deadlifts, starting out light, you can add 10 pounds every session, maybe even 15. Just don't go too crazy. Don't do like 20 kilo jumps because you're going to run out of runway and you're going to get stuck. And that'll make more sense when we get to the overview. So barbell back squats, barbell bench press, and barbell bent over row are our 3 A-day exercises. There will be a little demo video for each one of them here. And if you have any coaching instruction with me, obviously these are some of the first things that we'll learn. But if you're not familiar with these exercises and you don't really get it from the video, go to YouTube, research things, find lifters who are experienced, are good, who kind of look like you in terms of like their body proportions, and see how they squat, see how they bench, stuff like that. So workout B, again, is 3 exercises: barbell deadlifts, barbell overhead press, and then we're going to do underhanded inverse. It says underhanded inverse rows. Really what these are body weight rows. So hanging from rings, hanging from a bar, whatever it is. Underhanded is a little bit easier for most people. You start pulling up to the bar. But over time, there's kind of a progression in this video where you'll progress to overhand, you'll start to make it a little bit more difficult. And these are meant to progress you towards doing work sets of pull-ups. So that's kind of the progression training that we're working on here. But these all work the same except for the underhand rows. Since we're not adding weight, it's going to be 2 sets of 10 reps. And in that last set, you're going to go for as many reps as possible. And that's how we're going to kind of overload these, is just by that last set going more and more and more. And then every time you kind of get good at a variation, we're going to make it a little bit harder. And then it'll kind of reset your max set numbers. So I think this is a good time to mention that this max set strategy at the end can be done for all of the exercises on this program. If you're looking for a little bit more of a challenge, on the 3rd set, you do 5 and 5, and then set number 3, you take that for max reps. Now, I would recommend not going for like 20 rep. Like I'd probably cap it like 10, 12, 15, just because you do want to hit like 3 to 4 workouts a week. You don't want to just blow yourself up, especially in the beginning. But it can be a good way to add a challenge to the workouts to take that last set for max reps, and it can also tell you a lot about where you're at, right? If you can take the weight for 10 reps, without too much difficulty. Obviously, you have a lot of runway to go. But if you go 5, 5, and then a hard 6, you know that you're getting pretty close to where you're going to cap out on the 5s, and you need to start thinking about reset strategies and stuff that we're going to talk about in a minute. So other than that, make sure you warm up. 10 to 20 minutes of like a cardio activity and some stretching. I'm working on putting some basic warm-ups into the care package, which should be included with any programs that you get. Like I said, there's videos, technique videos, but you can always look on your own. I mean, there's a wealth of fitness and training information out there. And sessions should last 40 to 60 minutes. This should not be a 2-hour workout. If it is, you're probably resting too long. If you hear it says rest 90 seconds between sets, that's kind of a general good guideline to follow with strength training. You don't want to go super fast where you're still tired and still out of breath and your technique suffers or your speed suffers on the sets. You want good technique, precise, well-moving sets, but you also don't want to rest so long that you're getting mentally disengaged with training, that you're getting cold, and that your workouts are taking a long time, right? Because you can make this workout take forever. If I gotta go pee between sets, and I'll fill up my water, and I'll have a 3-minute conversation with this guy, and then before like 6 minutes of passing out, the squat set hurts because I'm cold. Just use the timer on the app, stick to the rest. If you want to challenge yourself, you can even do 60 seconds, but like I said, make sure that the sets are precise. And also, if it's a super hard one, you can take 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. It's the same idea. Rest enough to complete the set well, but no more. Right? So I think... so in terms of actually self-scheduling them, the easiest way to do it is when you open up your app on your main dashboard, there'll be a little blue plus in the bottom. You click that, and it should pull up all the programs you have. You click level 1, and you click the one that you want to add. You can also go on your calendar and schedule them out ahead of time, which I would recommend. If you have a like weekly training schedule that you want to stick to, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is like the simplest one, then the week before, go ahead and schedule your workouts out on those days so that they'll pop up in your things to do today, and kind of remind you and get you thinking about them. And that's about it. There should be another video, like I said, in that care package about how the actual workout screen functions when you open it up and click start workout. But in general, just make sure that you're recording everything that you do, all of your squat sets, all your bench sets, because each session when you come in, you're going to need to know what you did last session so that you know how much to add this session, right? So it's important that you stay on top of what you did last time and you're not just lifting into the void and doing sets and not writing them down, right? All right, so let's go to the big overview right here on the spreadsheet. So I have 2 different examples here. I have one example of 12 weeks plus a day of just straight through great progress on the level 1 program. And then I have an example of less great progress with some misses that is requiring restarts, where we're still hitting PRs through those restarts, right? So in the first example, you see we have this sort of spreadsheet. We have Monday, Wednesday, Friday across the top, and then each week down here, 6 weeks, and then 6 weeks plus 1 day. So what this kind of illustrates is how the workouts look alternating each day, right? A, then B, then A, and the next week you did A last time, so you start with B, then A, then B. And it also illustrates how when you start light, it doesn't necessarily mean that your progress is going to be slow. So especially for a beginner, it's super important to start where you can practice your technique and get really good at the technique first before you have to worry about a heavy weight on your back. So in this example, you start at 45 pounds, which is literally the empty barbell, and you finish with squatting 135 pounds, which is the big blue plates, for 3 sets of 5. And this is very doable. I have people do this all the time. Usually guys in their like 20s to 30s can hit this progression no problem. And then people outside, I mean, I've had girls do it. I've had guys in their 50s do it and smoke this progression right out of the water. But as you see, adding 5 pounds, no more, right? No big 15-pound jumps. These are back squats. 5 pounds, 5 pounds, 5 pounds, 3 sets of 5. You end up with 1.5 workouts per week, right? So we have 2, and then 1, and then 2, and then 1. So after 12 weeks, that next Monday will be the 135, 3 sets of 5 day. Keep in mind that along this time, your bench press, your deadlifts, your overhead press, your barbell rows, and your inverted rows are also making progress. So the biggest keys for making sure that this can happen for you, and I mean, keep in mind, right, if you already have a good base of strength, this starting number could be 135, and this finishing number could be 200 pounds, 225, whatever it is. The ways that you get this to happen for yourself are start low enough to where you give yourself plenty of runway, is what I like to call it. And as you go through, like for this person, these first maybe 4 or 5 weeks, the sets are probably not that hard. But what we're doing is every day we're trying to get the technique a little bit better. We're trying to move the weight a little bit faster. We're trying to get more comfortable. We're trying to ingrain those patterns in our nervous system so that when the weight is heavy, we default to good technique rather than defaulting to bad technique. But yeah, so you start light enough. You stay consistent, right? You see there's no missed workouts on here. It's 3 workouts a week. If you miss a workout, it's going to set you back. If you miss another workout, it's going to set you back. And before long, 13 weeks becomes 20 weeks. And it feels like it's taking forever. But it's because you missed Friday 5 times, right? So stay consistent. And then the other thing is just going to be like sleep and eat and recover, right? Because if you hit your A day and it's hard, or say like you're here, this A day is really hard, and this B day is really hard, and then this A day is really hard, like there's no deload built into these programs. As a beginner, you're expected to be able to work out, rest for a day, and then be fresh to go again that next day. Because the beginner stage really is about that rate of progress. The weights aren't that heavy relatively, and you aren't that, it doesn't take that much out of you to do the workouts, relatively speaking, to some guy who's doing, 300, 400, 500 pound squats. So you should be able to hit these and bounce back if you're eating enough good food, right? When I say keep your diet on point, I don't mean starve yourself. Eat plenty of good food and drink tons of water and sleep as much as you possibly can. 6 hours is probably not going to cut it. You need at least 7 Ideally 8 to 9. But those 3 things, you will hit this progress, right? So say this doesn't happen. Say maybe you're a smaller lifter, and the absolute weights you're going to get to are never going to be as high as some giant guy. Say you have a newborn baby and you cannot get that much sleep. Say you have a super demanding job and your training consistency isn't always going to be there, right? This is a strategy for when you hit a wall, you can reset. You don't have to grind through, you don't have to stick at that weight over and over and over, and you don't have to switch programs. The first time you get stuck is not the time to jump to the level 2 program. The time to jump to the level 2 program is when you're doing nothing but getting stuck, when you can't make it budge. That's when we switch. We want to note this program for everything we've got, because this is the fastest rate of progression you will ever have in your training career. The beginning stages is the fastest you'll ever progress, and we want to get all of that fast progression out before we go to a high level program with a slower level of progression, right? Because the more advanced you are, the slower you go, the more advanced the program, the slower it's going to ask you to go. So this one's asking you to go fast. Take advantage of that, but don't get all of it out immediately. Don't get stuck once and jump. Stick to it. This is the most progress you'll ever make in your career. So here you see things start off the same: squat 45, 50, 55, and we're swimming, and then right here what happens? We get to 85 and we miss. Say set 1 is good, but it's hard. Set 2 you only get 4. Set 3 you only get like 2 reps, right? It was too heavy. What do? Do we panic? Do we go to level 2 program? Do we say screw Jordan, he sucks, he doesn't know what he's talking about, go away? Done. What you do is you take about 20 pounds off of that weight back to where it's manageable. You can be precise, you can be fast, you can have good technique, and you start again. And you move that 65 and you try and move it better than you did last time. You hit that 70, you try and move it better than you did last time. As you're doing this, your body's still responding to the training, you're still growing, you're still getting stronger, hopefully you're still eating and sleeping. So by the time we get back up to this 85, we kind of retrace that groove, built a little bit more strength, the technique is probably better, and we hit it, right? And then we're maybe even able to get past it and hit 90. Big PR, right? Awesome. But then guess what? We try 95 and the same thing happens. You miss a set. So what do? Is it, oh, well, I reset once. Now it's time to go level 2. Nope. 20 pounds off, back to 75, improve the technique, improve your diet, improve your sleep, and keep going, and you will break the 95. So in this way, instead of 45 to 135 taking 12 weeks, it might take 16, it might take twice as long, it might take 24, but you will still get there. And by doing this process and staying consistent and being diligent about resetting, keeping your technique on point, making sure that you're recovering well, you will, even 24 weeks to gain, 90 pounds on your lifts, that is still an exceptional rate of progress for training. Absolutely exceptional. If you could do that 2 years in a row, what would you be doing? Like almost 300 pounds? So stick with this, milk it for as much as you can get, because it's the fastest you will ever go. After this, it's months and months and months for that 5 pounds. You get it every damn time you walk in the gym, right? So take advantage of it, put a smile on your face, and wipe it out, baby. All right, good luck. I'll see y'all.